more efficient means. And through that, about late 2010, our phone started ringing, and a product we had been selling, induction lighting for gas stations and parking garages, and all of a sudden people that were into horticulture and growing were saying, hey, we love your lamp, we want to buy your lamp. So we're like, okay, well, what's the application? We have normal fixtures, and well, we kind of want a big shade, and we want to grow a lot of stuff really fast, and we're like, okay, so we're like, this might merit something here. So what we did as a company is we started developing some test products, and we started sampling them, and we started working with aquaponics companies to greenhouses to vertical gardens, and just finding out really what our product does well and what it doesn't. There were several times where we could have big POs and go in with our product, but we're still a little bit reluctant to really make a big inventory push until we really knew we had the right product. The last thing we wanted to do is develop a bunch of products that were going to be obsolete. We started to know that LED was making a huge run. LED is kind of taking over in the commercial industry. Now in horticulture, it's has some recent advancements, such as two really big advancements that got our attention was the ability to create custom phosphors and create PAR light. Humans, they see visual light, where plants, they see this thing called PAR light, and it's a PAR spectrum that you have to manipulate through these phosphors. So we thought, you know, that's great. The product that we were selling was good for veg, but it wasn't great for bloom. And in our business, it's kind of like only having decaf coffee. 80% of the market is sitting there. You've got a good veg product, but we wanted to get into the bloom industry. That's because that's where all the market is. So what we did is we did a big serious push in R&D in 2013. We went to China, we developed phosphor blends, we tried all types of different scenarios. And what we found out is when you add a custom coating, it's going to be a little scientific here, to an induction lamp to create that PAR light, you reduce the lumens. Enter LEDs. Now with LEDs, what they do is we can pinpoint an exact spectrum that plants need during the bloom phase, more of the far red. And with the advancements in LEDs, we're like, okay, this is where it's going. So we just recently found an OEM that we had just inked an exclusive deal on some very cutting-edge technology. These LED lights have been tested at the University of Washington in the horticultural department. They're in the 3rd generation, and what they're doing is pretty phenomenal. Some of the things they're doing up there is, you guys might have heard of high-pressure sodium lights, and metal halide lights, super high energy bill, super high heat, not very good for the environment, lots of maintenance, you're replacing your lights every 6 months. With LEDs, all of those things have gone away to where it's low heat, low energy. You don't have to replace your lights for 5+ years. But the big thing we had to do was boost up the lumens, and we also had to increase the PAR. So that's kind of the little scientific part of the formula. Luckily, we ran into a company called Envirolux. They're #1 with the Department of Energy. There's over 30,000 companies listed with the Department of Energy, and they're #1. That's bigger than Philips, bigger than Cree. And the best part is, after dealing with China and New York and all over, we've been able to align ourselves with a company in Northwest in Vancouver, Washington. As of yesterday, we just inked our exclusive, and so we're pretty proud of that. The other flip side of the coin is now that we have this great LED technology panel, how do we get it to the light and control it? Well, another strategic partnership that we had targeted about a year ago was bringing in the controls division. Basically, how do we turn this into your remote control? Do all your lighting, your environmental controls, your timers, your grow logs. Basically get a smart device where it's web-based that you can control your whole lighting, whether it's different zones, and kind of the sky's the limit when it comes to that. So we really had to figure out what would be the best alternative. We're lucky to find a gentleman named Scott Hankin who has experience in this, and he has just recently inked this week as well to join our team. And our version 1 controls that are all web-based are also ready to hit the market. So we really have some exciting new products that we're finally getting ready to market for. We had induction, and we sold a lot of induction, but we really didn't feel like we had the right product to hit the market and replicate and go at it aggressively. Now we do. So really we're a sales and marketing company at this point. We have the products ready to roll. The other thing Envirolux brings to the table that was very important for us was the bottlenecks and lead times and the ability to scale up very fast. They can do 72-hour turnaround times on very large orders. They warehouse everything for us, so it's all out of the box. We don't have to hire a crew to do all the secondary assembly. What this does is it creates a very good gross margin for us, something we can count on. So when we're replicating, everybody on the distribution chain can be paid with a good margin. And that really was the biggest disadvantage with induction. It was a great product, but it just wasn't quite priced right. So now that we have this product, what type of opportunity do we have around us? Well, like you mentioned, the legal environment has changed. There's new markets popping up everywhere for what they call the hydro store industry. Basically, there's a lot of stores that cater to the home grower. That industry is there, but what's been really strong, what we've been able to do, is work with the Department of Agriculture in Mexico. And we're currently we're setting up a side-by-side with our new technology in the Department of Mexico's courtyard. And if that works out the way we hope it will, we're going to have some orders and some POs. We have some letter of intents. And by going this route, we can really feed the world. There's a new law in Mexico where 10% of all the indoor gardens are going to be vertical. Vertical gardens are more efficient. It's a very big trend. In 2016, it should reach about $16 billion. So what we feel is with Mexico, we can really lay the groundwork to get all the other sales. And that's where we're at right now. We're working with the University of Mexico and developing our product line. We've got about 4 different LED type lighting products. And at this point, we're looking for the ability to grow our sales. And in a nutshell, that's kind of our company.
Super. Thank you. Stay up here, please. We're going to take some questions. So I'm sure we have some questions. We have some time for some questions. Let me see. Do I see some hands raised on questions? Yes?
Can you describe the vertical thing versus...
Yes, it's kind of confusing. There's so many different ways to, it's kind of been a pioneering industry. You can do vertical gardening with lights that go sideways on movers that create rows. Like we have a company called Volcano Veggies in Bend, Oregon. It uses fish to feed the plants and the plants feed the fish. It's a really great system. And they're able to bring produce to the restaurants year-round here in Bend. They have our lights on movers that go back and forth. But the big trend that's going on is in Chicago, they have the biggest vertical grow warehouse in the world right now. And they build them up in cubicle, kind of like with scaffolding. And so they'll have rows of different stuff, then you kind of work with the forklift. But you have horizontal lights in each quadrant. So that's another form of vertical lighting. The other form of vertical lighting that's really catching on is with restaurants. Restaurants can build their herb gardens on the wall and use small little micro LEDs to help fuel that. So there's all types of vertical gardens, but the big commercial thing is going to be the cubicles with the horizontal, and that's what we're working with Mexico, and that's where 10% of all Mexico has to go to vertical.
Let me throw in a question if I can. What about hops? Is it good for growing hops?
Hops, we have not done that yet, but it's funny you say that.
I think we have an orientation
Right.
on hops in this.
One of our partners, Jeff Langley, he's our Chief Technology Officer. He started with Lambert Valley Hops, and he took that within 5 years to a $4 million company from startup phase. So the hop business is good. They're working with hops, and he was at the early stage where they said you couldn't clone a hop. And he disproved that. Now he's selling clones to mini hop companies. The other part about it is the vertical lighting was a natural progression to that, and we have been in discussions with that, but haven't come up with the best mousetrap quite yet.
I'm sure you will, though. We have another.
Oh, I have a couple of questions.
Yes, sir. Wow, you're too big for me to say no.
Yes.
I have a couple of quick questions. In a previous life, I was in charge of the marijuana task force. And this is let's cut through the chase here. This is all about the big vertical now is
This wasn't
marijuana.
rehearsed.
I mean, it's not
Totally not. Yeah. So it's not feeding the world; it's growing dope.
And
Actually, I was in charge of a task force that took down more indoor marijuana grows than the rest of the United States combined. So I have some expertise in this. So 2 quick questions. One is, halide lights were the gold standard in the 1990s. So how do you compare in efficiency and cost to somebody trying to grow with halide lights?
Well, halide was a big light, and high pressure sodium is the bloom light. Again, that's the full coffee, halide's the veg. Really, to get in the bloom market is the big arena. That's where all the money lies. The way we stack up right now with the University of Washington, with the 3rd generation panel we're using, we've increased the PAR, which is the spectrum. We've increased the lumens per watt, which is the intensity that the light delivers to the plant. The 3rd element is specialized optics that creates a better coverage. And by doing this, a 500 watt LED dual arc that we're testing is outproducing 2,000 watt high pressure sodiums. And that's been really unheard of. At first when we started out, we just wanted to go 1 for 1. And now our 500 watt panel is outproducing 2,000 watts high pressure sodium. So the LEDs and all these advancements have happened in the last 4 to 6 months. So it's kind of, us hooking up with Envirolux, a leader in the industry, has really helped us kind of get to the top of the...
To another level.
To another level.
You said you had 2 questions. Did you have a second one?
That was a combination of
That was a combination of
the efficiency and the cost. How does the cost compare?
Well, the cost is, that's the best thing about what we've done with Envirolux. We first, to get into the bloom game, we did an induction and LEDs, was 2 components, and it increased the cost. It was a superior product, but it cost more. But now with the new custom phosphors in the panels, we can really compete price-wise too. And which also enables us to finally go to the stores to be able to pay the reps to get the proper markups. So not only having the best product, we also have the best price product. Now something that I'd just like to add to that is with that control feature, the controls really is the future with LEDs. Being able to write intelligence to your grow. Can you imagine on your phone being able to, we have security features to check on it. We can do grow logs. We have a lot of really cool features. You can control the lighting, your timer. And in the future, there's all types of opportunities for the digital side as well. And that's one of the reasons why we brought in Scott to lead our controls division, to have a proven engineer.
Good. Good. Thank you, Takeda. Yes, behind you, a young lady in the back. Yes.
How important is that exclusive with Envirolux?
How important is, what was the question?
The exclusive with Envirolux?
Yes. Yeah, in our mind, we had 2 strategic partnerships that we felt we needed to have before we went out and made a big play. One was to have an exclusive on this new lighting technology. We really felt that Envirolux had the most cutting-edge LED custom phosphor panels in the industry. And with all of the testing with the University of Washington, we had a nice third party that gave it relevance. With that in place, that's why we really covered it. It took us 3 to 4 months of negotiation to get this exclusive, and we just inked it yesterday, so we're pretty proud of that. And we have a jump now, at least we got a year to take a breath and get this done right.
I see your hand up, and I see your hand up, so we'll have 2 more, but do you have patents?
What we're working on is proprietary IP stuff with our controls. Unfortunately, in the lighting business, R&D stands for research and duplicate. It's very, very hard to protect your lighting patents. But what we have IP protection on is our custom phosphor blends. I guess that would be our trade secret, our so-called secret sauce. And so under this exclusive, no one can make this special phosphor blend that we've had results. So they could maybe de-engineer it, but they're never going to hear it from us.
Okay, good. Yes, sir.
So you seem like you'd be kind of bank-ready, investable infrastructure play on the marijuana field versus the dispensaries.
Yes, we like that word infrastructure. You're not going to take a high-risk play and do a dispensary where federal law might conflict with your business investment. We feel like we're providing horticultural lighting, and that infrastructure position is important to us.
Yes, I think that is a brilliant answer for that. One more question.
Are you looking for any capital or team or what?
Well, yeah, it's a great question. Obviously, capital for a startup like us is very important. And we are entertaining certain type of funding options. We've set up some nice things that we'd be happy to talk about. And as far as a team, we really are. We've never really had a company where we've been built for accelerated growth. So we are looking for a CFO type of advisory board. We're also looking to build a rep force in the geographical states that are really strong right now, as well as some more sales and marketing strategies. And so those would be the two areas, along with legal, that we would like some help with.
All right, we're going to have one more little question.
Just a little question.
Yes,
I wonder if
Jim.
Gator would care to comment what he did with all that confiscated dope.
Hey,
That was really good.
All right, let's give it up for Darren.